Hey guys, so today I want to show you how to use a new 3D text component in Rete editor. And you see here that we have a advanced category, then text 3D subcategory, and we can create 3D text component here. You can click on advanced again to close the category, and voila, you see that the component has already a text bitbybit.dev in it, and we have font type, roboto, font variant, regular, font size, height, rotation, origin, and direction parameters that you can tweak. You can always swap the canvas and enter this 3D space where you see the 3D text. It's a nice looking font. Roboto is made so that there are no intersections and everything fits perfectly. What you can do also is, of course, change this text to something like hello world, and it updates immediately. Then you can also change the font to Arboreto, for example, or Tector. That's quite a nice modern font. Some of the fonts and some of the characters in particular have self-intersections. Then these 3D letters don't work that well, but mostly they're fine. So you see here that I can go and choose silkscreen, which is also quite cool, sort of techie kind of letters. And then you can also check and preview the data that we have here, and you see that we have bounding box information, so you can use that to sort of offset that text to be more in the center. We can do that with the vector XYZ component. For example, if you want your origin to be a bit more centered, you can drag that text along X direction, and you can also do cool stuff like you can increase the height to something like that. And yeah, another thing that you could do is you could create a solid and go pick a box. Let's then increase that box to the size 10 and 10. Yeah, maybe let's do it like that. So 5 and 20, for example. And the height, for the height, let's use like 1.5, for example. And now we see that these two things intersect. Probably I need 15. And we could center this whole text on 6. Yeah, so this is better. You see that the width property is 12, so the middle of the text is 6. And what we can also do is move it a little around. 45 should be more like it. Okay, so now we centered that text on the block. And what we can also do is we can pick through JSON properties. We can query this object. You see that it has various kinds of properties, and we can do JSON query where we say, okay, so dot type, for example, and let's preview that again. So like this, you see that it's now saying parametric model because the type value is parametric model. And if we go further, you see that we have all the shapes for all the letters here. And we have also a property called compound. And this compound shape, that can be used to subtract that text from the block. And this is what we are going to do. So let's do the Boolean operations, difference. And we will differentiate between the shape of the box, and we'll flatten this result. And yeah, we don't really need to flatten, actually, I think. We can just give it to shapes. And now what we need to do is hide this one And let's see, we also need to hide this one and just look into the result. Yeah, so now we cut out those letters into the box. That's quite cool. Okay, and then you of course can decide to hide this one and just draw anything with those T-shape options. That means that you can do this with the options, and then you can change things like color of the box, color of the edges, maybe you want them blue, and you can also change the edge width, be like 6. Yeah, so you see that many things are possible, and now also you can try and update the font to something like Roboto, and it should still work. It's gonna compute. You see that because of the different font, the word is now shorter, so this is a bit different. But yeah, this is still looking pretty good. Probably the edges could be just white, and it was fine to have them like this. Yeah, changing the font, of course, to something like bold is also possible. So now it's a bit thicker, and you can do bold italic or other variants. Yeah, so this is how you can use 3D text component, a new component in the Rete editor. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's see each other in the next videos. Cheers, guys.